Hi, good morning. It's morning for me. Happy whatever time of day it is for you when you reach this. Right now is Thursday, July 7th. I made it to Tulsa, Oklahoma, driving. And let me tell you, when they say living on the edge, I was living on the edge. I got into town. I was nervous the whole time. I actually left Bellingham worried I wasn't going to get here because of the gas prices, and made it to town. I put off the oil change. Oh, I'm so glad my daddy doesn't watch YouTube. I put off the oil change I needed to do and chanced it, and because oil change is a whole tank of gas, and drove all the way here with $60. I keep saying 40, but yeah, I have $60 left in my bank account. And thank you. I was so happy to have made it here with $60 left and not getting in the middle of the road with or in the middle of the drive and being like, oh my God, I have to call my mom and I need someone to bail me out. So that's a blessing right there. But I also had help on the drive. I had messaged a few weeks before I was going to depart. I had messaged Bella's father because they have a ton of family in Bellingham, and he was always saying that they want to see Bella. So I was like, hey, if you can get yourself out to Bellingham, it would be really helpful to have someone to share the drive with and to share tending to Bella with. And he did it. And I was impressed because there's many times I had suggested something, and he pretty much canceled it before it was even an option because he didn't believe it was a possibility. And he did it, and I was really impressed because it was such an I can't even get my words out this morning. It was such an enjoyable drive. I was able to see him in the high vibrational light that I had seen him in before we were partners, before we had hooked up, before we had our falling out, before any of that. It was just, I saw him, right? And that was really wonderful. There were a few moments when he slipped into pain and anger, and so today what I want to talk about really is, this is a deep, multidimensional conversation, but I really want to talk about the family unit and family as a community and what it takes to operate a family with these new earth energies and letting go of the old, right? Letting go of the old is a hard one, especially when it concerns things like your own children. So my boys were traveling from California to Arizona. I very easily could have taken the route down into Arizona and crossed over to Oklahoma. And I would have loved to have just given them a hug. Just to say, hi, I love you, I miss you, let me hug you. That's not a reality for them. What they're living right now, how they're living, and I have to accept that. And I'm not going to go into the whys and the blames and all of that stuff. They're not choosing that option. And you could say they're just children, but here's the thing. The way I raised my boys to make their own decisions, to think for themselves, to speak their mind, all of the non-traditional ways that you would raise a child, but all of the ways that were shunned by, you should tell them that they need to do this and they need to do that and whatever. And when they moved to their father's house and chose to act in a wounded space, there were a few people in my life that said, well, you did that. you taught them to speak for themselves. You told them you raised them to always make their choices. So now it's backfiring. And I don't consent to that, because every soul has a path, and every soul has to walk in darkness, has to walk in light, has to have their experience. It's their choice. And if you love with an open heart, that door is always open. So whenever my children are like, Mom, I want to see you, I'm right here. Because I know deep in my heart, I did absolutely nothing wrong, but stayed true to me. I stayed true to me, and my truth is not in alignment with the facade that they're living. You know, they're very, very much wanting to experience the dying earth. The earth that let them get it while they can get it, because it's not going to be here much longer. You know what I mean? That old paradigm. And if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say that, I will get deeper into that future conversations. And but the way we lived, the way things were, they're just not the way they're gonna be. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to. My goal for these 30 days is to stay in alignment with my higher self, no matter what happens, no matter what triggers, no matter what external forces are around me, no matter what comes at me. Stay in my high vibe, stay true to me, and just alchemize anything, right? So that was a tough one. My children, this is a tough one to alchemize. It is, because if I can look at it in just plain black and white, I've been replaced. And that's a deep wound for me, because when I was married to their father, I loved with my heart so open. Like, no matter how bad it was, I was in a sexually abusive relationship, a mentally abusive relationship, and he cheated. He did. And it wasn't the fact that he cheated that really, really hit me at the heart. It was the fact that he was promising me that I was it for him, but he still went out and got something else, you know. And at the end of the day, I'm so grateful that he did, because there's absolutely no way I want to be there right now. I just saw a picture on both of my boys' story. They went to the Grand Canyon, and it was their father and his new wife, and they actually have their daughter in their life, and who for years he didn't have his daughter in his life. And they look happy. My boys were in the back, and I did think to myself, if that were my picture, my boys would be up in the front. They wouldn't be behind. But no one can love you like your mama. I'm just saying, no one can love you like your mama. And there was that one moment that I was like, that should be me. But I did see how it's a complete version of our family, like a complete mock version. But that abandonment hit, because now they're calling another woman mom. I didn't get a Mother's Day shout out. She got a Mother's Day shout out. I gave birth to them. So like these wounds, they're hidden. The dark gets you through your relationships. It's hidden, but I'm staying above it, right? Just staying above it no matter what happens. And it is trying to play. The reality is trying to play on the old wounds, because I was replaced in my marriage, you know, by another woman, and then now I'm replaced as a mother by another woman, and he's living his dreams. He has everything in the third dimensional world that he wanted. He can provide for his children, which for a man, that's like a big thing, if you're able to do that. And he can give them concert tickets and the clothes and the electronics and, you know, all of the things that teenage boys want. And he's able to do that because this woman's, she's got a pretty decent paycheck. So, you know, safety, a lot of people fall in love because of safety, because of security. And they have that. They have safety and security. How real is that? That's for another day too, because absolutely nothing is real. Nothing is permanent. Everything can just, you know, flip just like that. But I'm happy that my boys right now in this experience, they've got that, because I was nomadic since, I've been nomadic since 2015. I homeschooled them, we traveled, we moved around. They loved it. They loved it for a long time until they didn't love it anymore. Until they wanted to be in one place and have that Disney Channel life, you know, that sitcom family where that's what they got. They manifested what they wanted and they got it, and I don't have to live in suburbia anything. So, even though here in Tulsa, Oklahoma is very much a suburbia something, which is why I left here too. I almost settled here. I did, because Jacob was born and Bella was born and both their daddies lived here, and I just wanted to do the right thing. And I have this house that Jacob's dad got for me, and I spent a lot of money decorating it and a lot of time and a lot of energy making it feel like a little beach home inside, because I was nowhere near the ocean. And then I just walked away. It's still Jacob's home. Actually, the way life had worked itself out, now Jacob's father lives in it because his lease was up in his other place, and instead of renewing and paying for two spaces, he just moved in because I wasn't living here. And it works out. It all worked out. It's still working. It's still flowing. So where am I? Where am I getting at? I almost stayed here. I almost sacrificed my happiness, my dreams, my wanting to travel. I have this dream. I just want to be able to go where I want to go, be where I want to be, and not have to worry about how or like stress over it. I want to just spread joy, spread love. And I've been having some serious downloads on that too, and I'm not going to get into that right now, but we're talking about family. Okay, so I drove with Bella's father. Bella had the opportunity to meet two grandmothers, two grandfathers, aunts, uncles, cousins. Like, it was so beautiful. And the way everybody responded to her, they just took her in with open arms. I mean, how could you not? She's freaking ridiculous. And the joy for me to experience that, to see that, to witness that, like, that was everything. And I am in a relationship with another man, and I was able to take this road trip with an ex, with Bella's father, and be in a high vibrational space the whole time. And it was such a blessing to me. Like, I cannot say that enough. I loved it. I did. There was no toxicity. We had great conversations. We had a wonderful time. We stopped. We did not eat fast food or restaurants one time. We had groceries and ate just wholesome food that we made ourselves, and got out a lot to stretch, to walk, to sit by a river. We found a hot springs in Wyoming. It was a wonderful trip, and I had someone to help me with the gas since I was already terrified about that anyways, and to share the drive. He did most of the driving, and I got to be a passenger again, and that was really nice. So, and then really wonderful. We were driving during the CERN activation on the 5th, and I had no signal all day. I could barely get online. I have two phones, an Android and an iPhone. My iPhone had zero service. My Android had enough to stream my music, so we were able to listen to music, but I couldn't really get anything else. Like, I couldn't really get online, and I couldn't really do anything other than listen to my music. But that was exactly all we needed. But during the drive, we were talking about CERN, and he got a little bit, into the, oh, I wish all those scientists would just, I wish CERN would just suck them into a black hole. He got a little into his negativity, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to set the intention that there's enough light on this planet. There's enough light that whatever CERN activates, whatever dark matter entities, whatever happens, whatever tries to happen, there is enough light on this planet to counter it. Because we're out here doing our thing, the 144. We're shining our lights. We're living in our truth. We're living in authenticity. We're living in integrity. We're speaking our truth. And that's how you bring light to this planet, by taking all of your darkness inside you, all the wounds that you're working through, and bring love to those spaces. Forgive yourself, forgive yourself for anything you have lived that's unpleasant, that you have experienced. Just forgive yourself. And with Bella's father, he had a pretty nasty marriage, kind of like I did. And not to put all of his business out there, but he got really sick. And he blames the ex-wife. And we were sitting at a table, and everyone kept telling him, you lost so much weight, you lost so much weight. Well, he had to go through chemo. He chose to go through chemo, which I'm really proud of him, because he had made the statement that he would never do that again, no matter what. And I'm really happy to hear that, because chemo kills people, not cancer. Okay. So everyone kept saying, you're getting so small, you're losing so much weight, and that's a trigger for him. That is a trigger for him. And he said, well, I was married to that damn woman. She got me sick. He hasn't been married to her for years. So from that marriage to now, you had plenty of opportunity to take your power back. And he's very wise with the spiritual texts and the knowledge, and that is what attracted me to him, was that wisdom. So I was very frustrated with someone having all the wisdom and not applying it, not believing in your power. And so we didn't really talk for a year. I went through the whole pregnancy without talking to him, because he was in such a negative space. So to have this positive experience is definitely a testament to living in a new timeline. It really is. And but when something comes up for you, like, oh, well, I was married to so-and-so, and that's why this happened, and you still hold on to that anger right there, you haven't actually taken accountability for your part in it. You chose to be there. This partner is a soul partner for you. Whatever they did, that's their role that they're playing in this life. Like, you guys signed up for this. If life is a movie, there's a protagonist and an antagonist, and everybody's got to play their role. And we're all the lead in our own role. And we have all of these other characters, and they got to play their role, because the things that they do to trigger you bring out the things you need to do to heal. So let's move on. So I give him so much credit for all the work that he has done. And I know that he's got more work to do. We all do. I've got more work to do. We all got more work to do. But I give him credit for the work that he has done. And the reality we're living in now is a way more beautiful reality than the one we were living in. So I make it to Tulsa. It's 11 o'clock at night, somewhere in between 11 and midnight. The door is locked. My key doesn't work. Baby daddy changed the keys on me, the locks on me. That could have triggered me right there. One, my name is on the lease and all the utilities are in my name. I very, very, very easily could have got triggered by that. But I didn't. And I walked in and his new baby mama was here. Could have got triggered by that too because I didn't get a warning. I was happy. I was happy to see her. For 2 years I've been trying to get him to bring her over. I actually invited her before I moved out. I invited her to Thanksgiving and we had an argument about that. What are you doing inviting my people? You said I could invite whoever I wanted to. And we're not together anymore. You obviously care about this woman. She's gonna be in Jacob's life. Let's sit at a table together. You know, I'm thinking about Arthur in the round table. We're all equals. But it didn't happen then. But she's here now, and she's packed a bag, and she's spending some time here. And I got to meet Jacob's little sister, and Bella got to meet Jacob's little sister. And I was like, yes, this is family. This is what family is about. We can do so much more together than apart. You really can. You can do so much more together than apart. Like, why are houses divided? I don't know. Why my boys and I can't sit at the same table together with their father and his wife and my partner and my exes and their exes? Because some people aren't doing their work. Some people aren't healing, and some people don't even want to face anything. They would rather just create a whole new life and just pretend the whole past life doesn't exist. But I don't know. So I've come to a place where I have to let that go. I'm not letting my children go, but I'm letting them live their lives right now, and I'm going to stop chasing them. Like, I feel like I'm chasing them. I just send them message after message after message after message after message. I love you. I miss you. What's going on? They've been in high school for 2 years now. I've not gotten one. Mom, this is my report card. Guess what happened today? You know, Gabe had something happen where I think he broke a bone or something or had a cast on, and I never even heard about it till it was way in the past. I would love to hear those things. I would love to know those things, but those things, I'm not their mom right now. So I've got to let that go. I've got to stop chasing a ghost and just hold space with an open heart for them to come back when they're ready to come back. But I need to live in my present moment. And in my present moment, the people who are active, the people who are in their heart, people who are showing up for me. And yeah, that's where I'm at. So I can go on and on and on and on about this topic, but I just really wanted to get this subject going. The traffic. I really wanted to get this subject going, but I know Bella's waking up now. It's 9:13. She usually wakes up around 9 in the morning, so I don't want her inside crying, looking for me, and I wanted to come outside and record this in privacy. So I'm going to leave it here, and I hope everybody has a beautiful day wherever you're at in the world, whatever you're doing. Stay in your heart, okay? That's my message to you. Stay in your heart, and whatever comes up, recognize the trigger and let it work for you, okay? Let that trigger work for you, because anything can change in a moment, and any negative that's perceived as a negative is really working for you, okay? And don't get distracted by everything that's happening in the world, because it's got to fall. It's got to fall so the new can be built, okay? So let it go. Let it go with grace. I love you guys. So very much. Stay blessed, okay?